Yes, good morning all of you. Sorry for a late entry. Actually, it's not late entry. I was into other, I think other link, and I started there. Okay, fine. Hello everyone. So now we are starting today with statistics. So today we are just going to discuss about statistics, and the first topic in this statistics, what you are going to start, theory of distribution. You will shock, sir, why you are starting with theory of distribution? Because I know this one topic many students doesn't follow properly. So let me start from theory of distribution. See, what is theory of distribution is, what is theory of distribution? There are two types of distributions, my dear. There are two types of distribution. One is what? Discrete distribution. Other one is continuous distribution. See, total how many types of distributions, my dear? Discrete and continuous. So what is discrete? There are two types of discrete distributions we have got. There are two types of discrete distributions we have got. One is binomial distribution. Other one is Poisson distribution. One is binomial distribution, other one is Poisson distribution. Whereas in continuous distribution, we have got what? Normal distribution. So discrete distribution, binomial or Poisson. In continuous distribution, we have got normal distribution. First, what are the points to be remembered in binomial distribution? See, please listen this next 20-30 minutes. This 30 minutes is going to give you at least 3 to 4 marks. So please listen here very carefully. First, we are going to start with binomial distribution. See, what is binomial distribution is? Binomial distribution is a discrete distribution. What is it? Discrete distribution. Binomial distribution is what? It's a discrete distribution. And it is dealing with by means two. There are two outcomes. One outcome we call it as success, and the other one is what? Failure. Okay, success we denote it as P. Failure we denote it as 1 minus P, which is equal to Q. Since it is discrete distribution, we use probability mass function. What do we use, my dear? Probability mass function. Okay, what do we use? Probability mass function. What is probability mass function of a binomial distribution? P of x is equal to NCx, P power x, Q power n minus x. What is it? P of x is equal to P power x into Q power n minus x. That is what probability mass function. Here we say n and p are parameters. N comma p are parameters. So there are two parameters in binomial distribution. Therefore, binomial distribution is biparametric. What is binomial distribution is? Biparametric. And this binomial distribution can be symmetric or skew symmetric. Skew symmetric is what? It can be positively skewed or it can be negatively skewed. Okay, so it can be what? Positively skewed or negatively skewed. So binomial distribution, success or failure. Bi stands for, bi is nothing but two, success and failure, and we denote B as success as P and failure as Q. So it's a discrete distribution, probability mass function. So everything is fine, my dear. Everything is fine. I hope you understand this. Okay. Yes. Now listen here. And binomial distribution is, it can be unimodal. There can be one mode. It can be a bimodal, two modes, or that is, it can be unimodal or bimodal. Okay. What is binomial distribution is? Unimodal or bimodal. What is binomial distribution is? Unimodal or bimodal. Okay. Binomial distribution is what? Unimodal or bimodal. Okay. Yes. Now listen here, my dear. What is mean? Mean of a binomial distribution. What is mean of a binomial distribution is? NP. What is mean of a binomial distribution is? NP. What is variance of a binomial distribution is? NPQ. Now look at this, my dear. In this question, in this binomial distribution, mean is always more than variance. See, this one particular type, in which distribution mean is more than variance, this one particular type question they asked many number of times. So please remember this. In which distribution mean is more than variance? In which distribution mean is more than variance, my dear? In which distribution mean is more than variance? In binomial distribution, mean is more than variance. In binomial distribution, mean is more than variance. Okay. In binomial distribution, mean is more than variance. Okay. Yes. Now listen here. Here, this is all about binomial distribution. This is all about binomial distribution. Now, sir, what type of questions can be asked, sir? And what is standard deviation is equal to root of NPQ. Okay. See, listen here, my dear. When you prepare it from institute material, statistics, we have got four types: set A, set B, set C and additional question bank. Okay, set A pure theory, set B is conceptual based question, set C is pure practical question. Additional question bank is what? Actually theory and conceptual questions are mixed. Now if at all you want to prepare, if at all we are preparing today and tomorrow, if at all you want to prepare, only one thing you have to prepare, my dear, set A, don't touch set C. Don't waste your time in preparing what? Set C. Just prepare set A and set B. Set A and set B is very important. For example, see, I am doing set A and set B problems. Wait. Yes, look at this. Now, listen here. Let me solve some problems from binomial distribution as we did. What I am talking about, I'll tell you. What I am talking about, I'll tell you. Take your set B questions. Okay, take your set B questions. Of course, as I told you, the questions can be expected today, my dear, tomorrow. So please listen very carefully. Yes, sorry. Listen here. Now, what is the standard deviation of a binomial distribution? What is the standard deviation of a binomial distribution? What is the standard deviation of the number of recoveries among 48 patients when the probability of recovering is 0.75? Sir, here it is not mentioned whether it is binomial or Poisson distribution. So, how to identify, sir? Here 0.75, the probability of success is very high. Therefore, we have to go into use binomial distribution. Here probability of success is 0.75. Therefore, probability of failure is 0.25. Am I right, my dear? And the question is, they ask you to find out standard deviation. This is my n. See, variance is NPQ. What is standard deviation is equal to root of NPQ? Simply you will use 48 into 0.75 into 0.25. You will use the calculator and you will get the answer, my dear. Okay, you will use the calculator and you will get it. Okay, 48 into 3 by 4 into 1 by 4. 4s are 12. Okay, what exactly you are getting, my dear? Can you please tell me? What is the answer? I am not saying numericals are not asked in the examination. Of course, numericals will be asked in the examination. I am doing numericals only, na? I am just covering theory, and the numericals I am doing for few problems. Okay, so just substitute and get the answer. Now, what exactly the options is? Look at this. You will take your calculator. 48 into 0.75 into 0.25 and its square root, which is nothing but 3, my dear. What is the answer? Is 3. Now, x is a binomial variable. X is a binomial variable. N is equal to 20. What is the mean of x? It is known that x is symmetric. See, listen here, my dear. This is very important condition. Symmetric is given. The symmetric means what, you know? P is equal to Q is equal to 1 by 2. P is equal to Q is equal to 1 by 2. That is what we call as symmetric. They ask you to find out mean of x. They ask you to find out mean of x. It is given as binomial variable. What is mean of a binomial variable is n into p. What is n is nothing but 20. 20 into 1 by 2. Is it not 10, my dear? His answer is not 10, my dear. That's it. In binomial distribution, what is maximum variance? In binomial distribution, what is maximum variance? Maximum variance is n by 4. Okay, maximum variance is what? N by 4. Now here n is equal to 16, which is nothing but 16 by 4. 4, my dear. What is maximum variance is equal to 4. Okay. Now listen here. Mode of a binomial distribution. It can be unimodal or it can be a bimodal. Okay, it can be unimodal or it can be a bimodal. See, guys, mode. There can be unimodal or it can be bimodal, but the formula is n plus 1 into p. N plus 1 into p. Then what, sir? See, this n plus 1 into p can be integer, or this n plus 1 into p can be non-integer. What is meant by non-integer? Decimal number. okay, decimal number. If it is integer, there are bimodal, there is two modes. What is it? One is n into 1, n plus 1 into p, and other one is what? N plus 1 into p minus 1. When it comes to non-integer, it is unimodal, it is highest integral value of n plus 1 into p. Sir, what exactly the meaning? Can you please tell me, sir? For example, n is equal to 16, p is equal to 1 by 3. Now, what is mode is equal to, my dear? Mode is nothing but, according to this formula, is what? N plus 1 into p minus 1, which is nothing but 16 plus 1 into p, sorry, n plus 1 into p. So, 16 plus 1 into p, is it nothing but 17 by 3? What is 17 by 3 is? 5.6666. Its approximate value is 6, but actually what we have to take? Highest integral value, 5.66. What is highest integral value of 5.66 is 5. So, therefore, our mode is 5. Our mode is 5. For example, n is equal to 17, p is equal to 1 by 3. What is mode is equal to, my dear? What is mode is equal to according to our formula? Sir, 17 plus 1 into 1 by 3, sir. What is 17 plus 1, my dear? 18. 18 by 3. What is 18 by 3 is? Sir, 6, sir. Since it is integer, 6 comma 5 is our answer. What is it? 6 comma 5 is our answer. 6 comma 5 is our answer. So, please remember this mode. Now, parameters. The meaning of parameter is n and p. So, n is given as 15, p is given as 1 by 3. What is the value of the mode? Sir, 15 plus 1 into 1 by 3, sir. That is 16 by 3, sir. 5.33, sir. So, it is non-decimal, sir. Sorry, it is a decimal number, sir. Therefore, it is unimodal, sir. Answer is 5, my dear. What is the answer? 5. Now, what is the number of trials of a binomial distribution having mean and standard deviation 3 and 1.5? Very important type of question. What is the number of trials? That means what we have to find out the value of n. What we have to find out? We have to find out the value of n. Okay. We have to find out the value of n. Now, look at this, my dear. Yes. See, what is it? What is the number of trials of a binomial distribution having mean and standard deviation 3 and 1.5? See, it is given mean is equal to, sorry, what is mean is equal to 3 and standard deviation is 1.5, and root of NPQ is equal to 1.5. What is NPQ is equal to 2.25. Now, we know what is NP. Is it 3Q is equal to 2.25? What is Q is equal to 0.75? Therefore, P is equal to 0.25. Now, what the question they ask you to find out, my dear? They ask you to find out the number of trials. Number of trials means n. Just put P is equal to 0.2 here. N into 0.2 is equal to 3. N is equal to what, my dear? 3 by 0.2. What is n equal to? 3 by 0.2. What exactly you are getting? Is P is equal, sorry, 0.25. So, 3 by 0.25. Okay, what is it? 3 by 0.25. What is 3 by 0.25? 12. So, n is equal to 12. Is it clear, all of you? What is it? N is equal to 12. Am I right, my dear? N is nothing but 12. Okay? Yes. Now, so these are the type of questions. Always give importance, my dear. Do not ignore these type of questions. Okay? In the examination, yes, I can say definitely the question will come. So, please, either it can come from binomial distribution or it can be asked from Poisson distribution. Okay? Either it can come from binomial distribution or it can come from Poisson distribution. Sir, what about the remaining questions, sir? Are they not important? Say, everything is important. I am telling you which are more important. Yesterday, one student messaged me, sir, can you please mark the important sums from for today's preparation? Arey, how it is possible, my dear? How can I mark the important questions? I am not your school teacher. It's a professional. I am a professional teacher. So, I cannot mark important question for CA examination. If at all anyone is marking, please don't accept those things. So, please behave like a professional students. No questions, every question is important here, every question is important, so let us not ignore it, okay. Now, listen here, yes, fine. See, what is the, I think these are the questions we have to use NCX into P power X into Q power N minus X, am I right? See, I will give one shortcut. For example, if 10 coins are tossed, how many coins are tossed? 10 coins are tossed. Probability of getting 7 heads, if this is the question. We need to find out probability of getting 7 heads. 10 coins are tossed, probability of getting 7 heads. Of course, classical definition of probability cannot be used. We have to use binomial distribution only. But let me give you one shortcut, my dear. Since 10 coins are tossed, and this shortcut is only for symmetric. Symmetric means what? Probability of success should be 1 by 2. Probability of success and failure should be 1 by 2. For that only it is applicable. So, if 10 coins are tossed, what is probability of getting 7 heads? What is the probability of getting 7 heads? That is nothing but simply what you can do, 10C7 divided by 2 power 10, that's it. You can simplify and get it. For example, 6 coins are tossed. 6 coins are tossed. What is the probability of getting 3 heads? If 6 coins are tossed, what is the probability of getting 3 heads? 6c3 divided by 2 power 6. That's it. What is the probability of getting, when the 7 coins are tossed, what is the probability of getting 4 tails? 7c4 divided by 2 power 7. So it is only applicable for what? It is only applicable for what, my dear? Symmetric. Symmetric means P is equal to Q is equal to 1 by 2. What is it? P is equal to Q is equal to 1 by 2. Okay, fine. Remember this. Next one. Let us go to the next part. This is what binomial distribution is all about. Next one is Poisson distribution. My dear, please remember all the theory questions which I am telling you now. Okay, because I am covering the theory simultaneously. Okay, if at all you want to check whether are we covering the theory or not, look at this. Look at this. How we are covering the theory, you will come to know. For example, see, look at this, my dear. An important discrete probability distribution is what? Discrete probability distribution here, only Poisson. Poisson is the probability distribution. In important continuous distribution, of course, it is normal distribution. Now look at this. The important characteristic of Bernoulli trial. Each trial is associated with just 2 possible outcomes. Trials are independent. Both are important, my dear. What is it? Both are important. But trials are infinite, na? That is not possible. See, trials are finite in binomial distribution. What is it? Trials are finite in binomial distribution. Okay. What is probability mass function? NCX, P power x, Q power n minus x. What is it? NCX, P power x, Q power n minus x. Probability binomial distribution is what? It can be symmetric when P is equal to 0. It can be symmetric when P is equal to 0.5. See, when you just look at that introduction part of the sessions, okay, when you look at that introduction part of the section, I think you can easily understand what exactly the theory is all about, okay, what exactly the theory is all about, okay, fine. Now, next one I am going to do with probability Poisson distribution. What is Poisson distribution? Sir, Poisson distribution is a discrete distribution, sir. It is discrete distribution. What is Poisson distribution, my dear? It's a discrete distribution. Now, sir, binomial also discrete distribution, Poisson also discrete distribution. What is the difference, sir? Just now only I said, na, binomial distribution is only for finite trials. Now here, if there is infinite number of trials, of course, Poisson distribution to be used. That is, n tends to infinity. That is, number of trials is up to infinity. P tends to 0. Probability of success is very small. But NP is finite. So, when this is possible, we have to use what, my dear? Binomial distribution. What we have to use, my dear? Sorry, Poisson distribution. Okay, what is it? Poisson distribution. What is probability mass function of a Poisson distribution? P of x is equal to x is equal to e power minus m into m power x divided by x factorial. What is it? P of x is equal to x, e power minus m into m power x divided by x factorial. This is what a Poisson distribution is. What is this? Poisson distribution. It's a discrete distribution. N tends to infinity, P tends to 0. And what is probability mass function is e power minus m into m power x divided by x factorial. What is mean of a Poisson distribution? Which is nothing but NP, that is small letter m we produce. Okay, variance. What is variance? Variance also m. So now from this what we come to know, in which distribution mean is equal to variance? In Poisson distribution mean is equal to variance. In binomial distribution mean is more than variance. In Poisson distribution mean is greater than variance, mean is equal to variance. Now here this m we call it as parameter. So m we call it as parameter. Therefore, what is Poisson distribution is? Sir, Poisson distribution is uniparametric. What is Poisson distribution is, my dear? Uniparametric. Whereas binomial distribution was biparametric. Poisson distribution is what? Uniparametric. Binomial distribution was biparametric. Poisson distribution is what? Uniparametric. Please understand this. Okay. Mean is equal. If mean is equal to variance, if mean is equal to variance, we call it as what? Poisson distribution. If mean is more than variance, we call it as what? Binomial distribution. What is discrete distribution is P of, that is e power minus m power x divided by x factorial. And remember one thing, my dear, and remember one thing, it is like mode as compared what we as we discuss about mode, whatever we discussed in binomial distribution, same thing has to be discussed here also. Like what you know, mode, there can be 2 modes. One is m minus 1, both are modes only. See, it can be unimodal or it can be bimodal. Sir, when it is unimodal, when m is integer, it is bimodal. When m is not integer, then it is what? Unimodal. Highest integral value to be taken. What to be taken, my dear? Highest integral value to be taken. What to be taken? Highest integral value to be taken. Okay. Yes. Please understand this. And also, it is always what? Positively skewed. Okay. Sir, what is the difference, sir? Look at this. Binomial distribution is Positively skewed, it can be positively skewed, it can be negatively skewed, or it can be symmetric. But Poisson distribution, strictly what? Positively skewed. Strictly what? Positively skewed. Okay. Sir, here in this, what type of questions can be expected, sir? Here general doubt is what, Sir, how to identify Poisson and binomial distribution? That is simple, man. In Poisson distribution numerical questions, e power some value will be given to you. Right? By looking at it, you can easily, okay, this is what Poisson distribution is. When I was doing some lectures in the classroom about Poisson distribution, I gave some tricks. How to use it and all. Please look at the tricks, my dear. So, mean is equal to variance in Poisson distribution. Now, for example, let me do some problems. Okay, theory questions, of course, you know how to solve the theory questions. Okay, Poisson distribution may be what? Unimodal or bimodal. So, it can be A or B. Poisson distribution is what? It is always positively skewed. These are the points we have covered, my dear. These are the theory questions also expected in the examination. Okay. Now, a binomial distribution with the parameters n and p can be approximated by a Poisson distribution. Parameter m equal to np when n tends to infinity, p tends to 0, and np remains finite. What is that? np remains finite. Okay. Did I give that or not, my dear? Yes, np remains finite. So, this is the condition. Okay. Yes. Now, let us go to the numerical sums. Okay. See, when you solve numerical sums, always these type of questions which are very important. And look at this, my dear, x is nothing but random variable. What is x? Is random variable. In binomial distribution as well as Poisson distribution, that random variable x has to be what? X has to be what? An integer. X has to be what? An integer. Okay, x has to be an integer. X has to be an integer. Fine. Look at this. If the standard deviation of a Poisson distribution, x is equal to, that to not ordinarily, it should be a positive integer. What's it? Positive integer, it cannot be negative. If the mean of a, if the standard deviation of a Poisson variable x is 2, what is p of x between 1.5 and 2.9? Look at this, they ask you to find out p of x between 1.5 and 2.9, right? So, random variable is between 1.5 and 2.9. Now, what exactly the integer is? What exactly there is an integer between 1.5 and 2.9? There is only one integer between 1.5 and 2.9. What is it, my dear? 2. Okay, what is it? 2. That is nothing but p of 2. What is it? Nothing but p of 2. So, they ask you to find out p of 2. So, according to our formula, e power minus m, here m value is given. What is m is mean is nothing but what? Sir, they ask you to find out, standard deviation, sir. That means mean to be found out. So, e power minus m, m power x, what is x is equal to 2 divided by 2 factorial. Am I right, my dear? E power minus m square divided by 2 factorial. See, the question, please listen here. The value is given as what? If the standard deviation of Poisson variable is 2, here it is given, standard deviation is given, standard deviation is given. That means root m is equal to 2 is given. What is m equal to? 4. Just substitute m is equal to 4 here. I think your answer is over. E power minus 4 square divided by 2 factorial. Sir, how we know e power minus 4 value, sir? Of course, my dear, in the question itself it will be given to you. In the question itself it will be given to you. If at all you want to remember the e value, 2.71828. Please remember this. Okay. Now listen here. Some values I will give. See, maximum what? E power minus 1, e power minus 2, e power minus 3, e power minus 4. Maximum, these are the 4 values generally they are asking. So, 2.71828. Sorry. 0.369 for e power minus 1. Okay. E power minus 2, 0.135. E power minus 3, 0.0183, mostly at 0.05, it can be e power minus 3. These values and all, if you remember, you can save some time. But remember, my dear, 99.99% of the cases, the e value will be given to you. Sir, still I am not, still I am not confident about Poisson distribution, sir. In that case, what to do, sir? Whatever theory part I have done, only at least that much you prepare and go. Only that much prepare and go. So, nothing will happen, my dear. We can score at least 1 or 2 marks. Poisson distribution, of course, the way we are thinking, it's very difficult to know, my dear. It's actually very simple. Now, last but not least, very, very important, please listen here. It is actually what, normal distribution. whatever I am going to talk now, in that 1 mark definitely has to be covered, my dear. So please listen here. See, just look at this. 1 mark definite coverage will be there. So please listen here. So what is normal distribution? Sir, normal distribution is a continuous distribution. What is it? Continuous distribution. Continuous distribution. Normal distribution is what? Continuous distribution. It's a bell-shaped curve, and the tails will never touch the axis. Tail will never touch the axis. It is symmetric. So what is by symmetric? Here it's mean. It is between minus infinity to plus infinity. Area between minus infinity to plus infinity is always what? 1. So this half area is what? Area between minus infinity to 0 and area between 0 to infinity is equal to 0.5. Both the areas are what? 0.5, 0.5. What is it? Both the areas are 0.5, 0.5. Here, what is normal variate z is equal to x minus mu by sigma. What is normal variate z equal to x minus mu by sigma? Please listen this very carefully. One question definitely will come. So please listen here. Okay. Z equal to x minus mu by sigma. Now, since it's a discrete continuous distribution, we use probability density function. What is it? Probability density function. What is probability density function? Is f of x is equal to 1 by sigma root 2 pi e power minus half into x minus mu divided by sigma the whole square, where x is between minus infinity to plus infinity. What is x is between minus infinity to plus infinity? 1 by sigma root 2 pi e power minus half into x minus mu divided by sigma the whole square. Just remember, it's a probability density function. Okay, probability density function, and it is also what, you know, the parameters are mu and sigma square. Mu and sigma square are the parameters. Therefore, normal distribution, it's biparametric. What is normal distribution is biparametric. Since it is symmetric, mean is always what? Equal to median, equal to mode. All will be equal. Some case in normal distribution they can ask you to find out mode. It's enough to find out mean. That mu is nothing but what? Mu is nothing but mode or median, anything you can say. Now, see, point of inflection. Point of inflection is mu minus sigma to mu plus sigma. This is what point of inflection is. Okay, now listen here, my dear. Mu minus sigma to mu plus sigma, this is what our point of inflection is. Under standard normal condition, under standard normal condition, please understand, mu is always 0, sigma is always 1. Standard normal condition, mu is always 0, sigma is always 1. So therefore, what is point of inflection is going to be? Point of inflection will be minus 1 comma plus 1, because mu is 0, sigma is 1 na. So accordingly what? Minus 1 comma plus 1. Okay, what is it? Minus 1 comma plus 1. That is what point of inflection is all about. Okay, what is it? Point of inflection is all about. Sir, are they asking the question, sir? Yes, of course. They are asking the question from here. Okay, yes. Now listen here. Why you people are asking Zoom link? Zoom link is not there. I am directly coming on YouTube. There is no Zoom lecture here. Okay, point of inflection minus 1 comma plus 1. What is point of inflection is minus 1 comma plus 1. So remember this, and other points to remember. Q1 is equal to mu minus 0.675 sigma. Q3 is equal to mu plus 0.675 sigma. You may be wondering, sir, what is Q2 then? Q2 is nothing but median, which is nothing but mean only. So Q1 is given as mu minus 0.675 sigma. Third quartile is equal to what? Mu plus 0.675 sigma. Now, the relation between quartile deviation and mean deviation, what is QD is equal to? I hope I gave this rule actually. What is it? Okay. QD is equal to 0.675 MD, sigma. Now, MD is equal to 0.8 sigma. Okay, 0.8 sigma. And also I gave one rule. QD is to MD is to SD. Okay, QD into MD is to SD is equal to 10 is to 12 is to 15. What is it? QD is to MD is to SD, 10 is to 12 is to 15. Okay, 10 is to 12 is to 15. QD is to MD is to SD is equal to what? 10 is to 12 is to 15. Is that right, my dear? Yeah. Now, so this is what to be remembered before we proceed further with normal distribution problems. This is before we proceed with normal distribution problem. This is what we have to proceed. Okay, this is what we need to understand, my dear. So QD is to MD is to SD is equal to what? 10 is to 12 is to 15. Okay, 10 is to 12 is to 15. Is it clear, all of you? So whenever you do normal distribution, these are the things to be remembered. Now, sir, what are the type of questions can be solved in the exam, sir? That is, what type I have to prepare, if at all I need to prepare. Look at the 16th question. What is it? What is the coefficient of variation? Coefficient of variation formula you know. Sigma by x bar into 100. That means what? Sigma by x bar. X bar is means sigma is standard deviation. Now 1 by 4 root 2 pi e power minus x minus 10 the whole square divided by 32. Okay. Yes. Now look at this. What we need to do, we need to compare with our original formula 1 by sigma root 2 pi e power minus half into x minus mu divided by sigma the whole square. So what exactly it is? Sigma is equal to 4, mu is equal to 10. Direct comparison, answer is over. The question they ask you to find out coefficient of variation. You substitute. See, these type of questions are highly expected and also very important, my dear. They are highly expected and also important. So don't ignore these type of questions. For example, if the mean deviation of a normal variable is 16, what is the quartile deviation? Of course, what is it? Mean deviation is 16. They ask you to find out quartile deviation. They ask you to find out quartile deviation. Now, what is mean deviation is? Sir, 0.8 sigma is equal to 0.8 sigma is equal to 16, sir. Sigma is equal to 16 by 0.8. What is 16 by 0.8 is 20. What is quartile deviation is 0.675 sigma. What is it? 0.675 into sigma we already had what? 20. So 0.675 into 20. What is it? 13.5. So our answer is what? 13.5. That is what we need to mark. Sir, I feel this normal distribution is very simple. Are they asking these type of questions in the exam, sir? Of course, my dear, these type of questions only asked in the examination. Unnecessarily don't waste your time by solving unwanted questions. Okay, unnecessarily don't waste your time by solving unwanted questions. Sir, area type sums and all, of course it is going to come, but last minute if you are not prepared it, why to prepare? But these questions, many people are ignoring these type of questions. Generally these type of questions every time they are asking in the examinations, so let us not ignore these type of questions. Okay, so as far as binomial, Poisson or normal distribution, theoretical distribution is concerned, at least this much you need to prepare before you go into the exam hall, my dear. Okay, yes. Now anything you want to ask, you can ask. I am going to take 2 minutes a small break, then I am going to continue, because this is one chapter completely get over, so it should not affect the other chapter. Mathematics, everything is independent topic. Here it is what? Dependent. Now theoretical distribution, immediately I am going to do what? This one, what is it? Probability. They are connected to each other. They are connected to each other. So let me take 5 minutes, small 5 minutes gap. I am going to be here only. So please, small 5 minutes gap. You may any question you want to ask in binomial distribution, you can ask now. Somebody asking weightage, maybe 4-5 marks. Any trick for calculate risks? No, there is no calculative risk. Actually here everything is safe only. Safely you can score. There is no calculative risk. Okay, thanks for waiting, all of you. Now listen here. Next one is probability. Sir, important points to remember in probability. What exactly you will say, sir? What exactly important points to remember? Are we expecting some theory questions from probability? Excuse me. 95% I am not expecting any question from probability, theory question from probability. Mostly practical questions are going to be asked, but there is a contingency. 5% may be asked. Okay, it can come. But so far what? Only practical questions. Many times they are asking all questions are practical questions. No theory question. Theory questions are asked. But this time I don't know what exactly is going to happen. But every time practical questions only they are asking. So as far as practical questions are concerned, people who are struggling, that is, sir, I'm just I don't know what to be prepared in probability, sir. For you, I am telling you, my dear, at least learn these formulas and go. P of A union B is equal to P of A plus P of B minus P of A intersection B. If A and B are mutually exclusive, then P of A intersection B equal to 0. Mutually exclusive means P of A intersection B equal to 0. So what is P of A union B equal to? Which is nothing but P of A plus P of B. Okay, at least these many parts you need to remember and go, my dear. Now if A and B are mutually exclusive, and exhaustive, then P of A plus P of B is equal to 1. Okay, next one. P of A intersection B dash, P of A minus P of A intersection B. Of course, everyone knows P of A dash is equal to 1 minus P of A, correct? So P of A intersection B dash is what? P of A minus P of A intersection B. What is P of A dash intersection B is? P of B minus P of A intersection B. What is P of A dash intersection B dash? Which is nothing but P of A union B the whole dash, which is nothing but 1 minus P of A union B. Next, P of A dash union B dash is equal to what? P of A intersection B the whole dash is equal to 1 minus P of A intersection B. Now, what is multiplication theorem on probability? P of A intersection B equal to what? P of A into P of B given A, or P of B into P of A given B. Is that right, my dear? Multiplication theorem on probability. If A and B are independent, then P of A intersection B equal to P of A into P of B. See, at least this much, this formula part you remember and go. At least this formula part remember and go. Mug up these formulas and go, my dear, because all the formulas are very important. Okay, all the formulas are important, and based on this formula, definitely the questions they are asking. Okay, definitely the questions they are asking. Minimum one question it is coming from this formula, my dear. So I am requesting you to remember at least this formula and go. Sometimes something will turn up. Okay, something will turn up. And see, the very simple part. What exactly the simple part is? Learning formula is not a big deal. Direct questions they will be asking. P of A is this, P of B is this, P of A intersection B, P of A union B. So directly questions they are going to ask. You just substitute in the question and do it, my dear. Okay. Now, this is one type of questions. So generally what exactly here we are scared about? Sir, when the word problem comes, what to do, sir? When this type of sums comes, what to do, sir? See guys, please, first of all, you come out of this mindset. It is nothing to do with the word problem or nothing to do with any type of problems, my dear. It is about your confidence. If you are not confident enough, now this is not the time to prepare those things. If you are confident, then you prepare. Of course, those who have attended my lectures, I have covered a limited type of problems, and also, I have covered all type of problems in limited number of time. Of course, you know it very, that is reading the question, giving the answer, reading the question, giving the answer. This is the way we have explained, we have done our probabilities. So if at all you are scared about probability and you want to watch my lecture, please open the video and please watch that lecture, my dear. So I think you will understand what exactly the probability, what and all to be learnt. Okay. For example, let me just have something, my dear. Look at this. Okay. Now, For example, this 11th question, very important type of question, 11th question. There are 3 persons aged 60, 65, 70 years old, okay. So we are talking about 3 individuals. Of course, when we are talking about 3 individuals life expectancy or something like that, it is always what, my dear? Life expectancy or something like that, it is always what? Independent. Of course, my life is not dependent on anybody's life, okay. So we cannot say, sir, we are Laila Majnu, sir, Romeo Juliet, sir, okay. Okay, Laila Majnu, Romeo Juliet. No, it's not like that, my dear. Sir, if my girlfriend dies, I will die, sir. See, this is not life has never been dependent. Life is always what? Independent. So here there are 3 persons aged 60, 65, 70 years old. The survival probability for 3 persons are 5 years. That is, next 5 years is what? For 60 years old survival probability is 0.7, and 65 years old survival probability is 0.4. Then 70 years old probability is what? 0.2. Am I right, my dear? 60 years old probability is 0.7, 65 years old 0.4, and 70 years old is what? 0.2. Now the question is, what is the probability that at least 2 of them would survive another 5 years? At least 2 of them would survive another 5 years. What is the at least 2 of them would survive another 5 years? For example, at least 2 of them. What is the at least 2 of them? 2 or more than 2. So either 60% survives, and 65% survives, and 70% does not survive. So 2 of them only. Sir, is it necessary only 60, 65 is survive, sir? 70% die, 70 years old is die. So why not 65 dies and other 2 are surviving? Yes, that is also one of the possibility. Then all 3. Okay, then what? All 3. Okay, then what is it? All 3 we have to take. Now listen here, since the survival is always independent, okay, the survival is always independent, survival is always independent, okay, survival is always independent, what exactly will come? A intersection B intersection C, probability of 60 into probability of 65 into probability of 70 dash, plus probability of 60 into probability of 65 dash. We have to keep on multiplying those probabilities, because survival is what, my dear? Survival probability is what? This is independent. Since it is independent, and this is what we have to do, and we need to multiply and we have to get the answer, my dear. We have to multiply and get the answer. Sir, are these type of questions expected in the exam? Of course, these type of questions are always expected in the examination. Independent type event questions, of course, they can be asked in the examination. Do not ignore these type of questions in the examination. Okay, maybe this question may be lengthy, but other questions and all, what you know, very small questions can be asked. Please remember, my dear, unlike mathematics, unlike accounts, here mathematics and all, some lengthy paper cannot be asked. Please, in 2 hours time, we have to complete to 100 questions. That is not a simple task you are going to do, my dear. It's a difficult task. Of course, for that task only, what you know, we find paper 3 is difficult. Otherwise, paper 3 is not at all difficult. In 2 hours time, you have to answer 100 questions. So here, these type of questions, what are the type of questions should not be ignored? I am telling you. I am not telling that these questions only to be prepared. These type of questions and all should not be ignored, okay, should not be ignored. Please remember that, okay. Now, look at this, my dear. Even see, Tom speaks truth in 30%, Dick speaks truth in 25%. See, speaking truth, it is what, you know, independent only, okay, it is independent only. For example, myself and my friend, both are there. So what I'm talking, I'm speaking truth and he is speaking truth. It is nothing to do with us. Okay, it is nothing to do with us. Like I can speak, that it is that is the second person cannot influence me. If the second person influences me, we call it as what? Dependent event. Otherwise, it is independent event only. Okay. Now, so see, these are the type of questions now. Always important, my dear. A problem is given to 3 students. When the problem is given to 3 students, that is, problem is given to the students, and this type of question is always what? Independent. Okay, what is it, my dear? Independent. See, a student A, B and C, chances of solving it are 1/3, 1/5, 1/2 respectively. What is the probability that the problem would be solved? The meaning of problem would be solved is what? A union B union C. Sir, A union B union C. So probability of A union B union C means there is a formula P of A plus P of B plus P of C minus P of A intersection B minus P of B intersection C minus P of C intersection A plus P of A intersection B intersection C. So such a big formula, sir. Then after that independent event we have to apply, sir. It is waste of time, sir. I will not apply this and attend this question. No, this is not a difficult question. Look at this. P of A union B union C. Can we say it as 1 minus P of A union B union C the whole dash? Can we say like this? Yes, of course we can say this. P of A dash is 1 minus P of A. So P of A union B union C is what? 1 minus P of A union B union C the whole dash. So what is P of A union B union C the whole dash is? Is it nothing but 1 minus P of A dash intersection B dash intersection C dash, my dear? P of A dash intersection B dash intersection C dash, of course De Morgan's law, which is nothing but 1 minus. What is P of A dash intersection B dash intersection C dash is? Which is P of A dash, P of B dash, P of C dash. Now find what is P of A is given as 1 by 3 and P of B is given as 1 by 5 and P of C is given as 1 by 2. So what is P of A dash is 1 minus 1 by 3, P of B dash is 1 minus 1 by 5, P of C dash is 1 minus 1 by 2. So that's all with this, my dear. Just substitute and you will get the answer. So these type of questions, definitely what you know, I am expecting one question from this type, my dear, this time. Okay. Yes. So as far as probabilities are concerned, sir, if I prepare only from the institute material, is it enough, sir? Of course, my dear, it is more than enough from institute material. Sir, I find the institute material questions are very simple. Please go ahead with that. See, if at all they are going to ask some out of the box question. One question may be asked out of the box question and we cannot expect that question. Whatever book you prepare, you cannot expect. It is better to prepare the question from institute material, therefore we can be on the safer side always. See guys, remember one thing, the question patterns every time they are changing. This time completely changed. In statistics, the most important point in statistics, what to remember, I'll tell you. The most important point in statistics, what to remember, practical oriented questions started coming. That means there is no direct question. There is no direct question. So they just give that question indirectly. For example, arithmetic mean, that is as discussed, let me talk about central tendency and dispersion. Okay, A flies from A, that is a plane flies from A to B in 500 km per hour and B to A in 700 km per hour. Find the suitable average. Here, which average is not mentioned? Okay, which average is not mentioned? It can be what? Mean, or it can be median, or it can be mode, anything. Okay, but average is not mentioned. Geometric mean, harmonic mean, anything can come. But here you need to decide average, which average to be taken care. Okay, now listen here. Since the problem is based on speed, distance and time, we have to use what, my dear? Harmonic mean. What we should use? Harmonic mean. So that is what the first point you need to remember. Nowadays the question pattern got changed. They are asking some practical type of questions. If you don't understand the concept of any topic, then statistics is not going to be the cakewalk. You may find a difficulties in statistics also. So please remember, my dear, do not underestimate statistics. We just think what, okay, statistics is going to be the scoring part for me. Of course, statistics is scoring, no doubt about it. Statistics is always scoring, but nowadays the pattern changed. Okay, we don't know what type of questions are expected. Every time what they are just changing the pattern. This time, last 2-3 attempts, what I have seen is practical oriented question, that is situation oriented questions they have asked. That is, situation is given, based on the situation you need to take the call, but it is not good for any MCQ type of examination. Okay, when the situation is given, we need to think into that situation, we have to take the call. In 2 hours time, everything is not possible. So please understand, they are taking this paper 3 very seriously. IC Institute is taking paper 3 very seriously. They are not taking it lightly. Even you are also taking seriously, I understand. But seriously in the sense how we are taking it in different way. No, I think paper is very difficult. This, not like that, my dear. You have to prepare in such a way that, whatever questions asked, we need to answer. So that is what, if you have just seen my theory, statistics lectures and all, I always covered theory part. So that theory part will give you good marks, my dear. The theory part will give you the confidence. It will build the confidence. So please Those who are having my lecture, those who are purchased my lecture, please keep it with you and watch that statistics initial theory part, half an hour I covered na. Even that part you what if at all you want to prepare correlation regression, what we have to do, just watch my that 30 minutes initial lecture and close that lecture, go then the institute material or any material you open and try to solve. I can just give that assurance you can solve each and every question. Is that right, my dear? So that is what we did in the practice, that is in the classroom also. So that 30 minutes, 45 minutes, that initial lectures are very important. You just go through that initial, the theory part of that lectures. Okay. Now, listen here, my dear. As far as this probability, of course, I don't want to discuss much about probability, because many people, I don't know how you have taken this probability, but I don't want to confuse you in talking so many things about probability. Now, let me talk about correlation regression. Again, I am going to take a small gap of 5 minutes before I start with the next topic. Okay. So small gap of 5 minutes I am going to take. So please stay in the meeting. 5 minutes gap I am going to take. Then after that I am going to start with correlation and regression. I am going to start with correlation and regression. Okay. Please wait in the meeting, my dear. Now time is 9:05. If at all you want to have breakfast, please have breakfast and come sharp 9:15. I will continue. I've already taken the breakfast, so I don't need a breakfast. But you please have the breakfast and sit for the lectures, my dear. Do not skip breakfast. Thank you. Yes, welcome back. Okay. See now correlation and regression. As far as correlation is concerned, what and all to be remembered in correlation, because most of the students are finding difficulties in remembering the formula. See, formula based one or two questions can be, one question can be expected, but the other questions are not directly based on formula, some conceptual based questions are expected. So, what is correlation formulas, what and all to be remembered, I will tell you. See, there are correlation coefficient, right? And we denoted by R. So, here there are 4 types. One is what? Carl Pearson's coefficient of correlation, and second one is what? Spearman's rank correlation, concurrent deviation method, and finally what, my dear? This one, scatter diagram. What is scatter diagram? Scatter diagram is what? Graphical method. What is scatter diagram? Scatter diagram is graphical method. Of course, sir, do we expect any question based on scatter diagram, sir? Of course, theory questions are expected using scatter diagram. Theory questions are expected using scatter diagram. What is it? If the points are plotted from left hand side bottom to right hand side corner, left hand side top to right hand side corner, what is the value of R? If all the points lie on a straight line, what is the value of R? So, such kind of questions are expected in this scatter diagram type questions. Okay. Now, let me come to concurrent deviation method. Sir, concurrent deviation method, we know the formula, sir. RC is equal to plus or minus root of 2C minus M divided by M. I said C is number of concurrent deviations, that is number of positive signs in the column Sx into, that is sin of x into sin of y, and divide M is nothing but n minus 1. Of course, you remember. But sir, are they asking the table type question concurrent deviation method? So far they have not asked. Okay, till date they have not asked table type questions. So in this examination, how the questions are asked, sir? So far, how the questions are asked? I'll show you, my dear, how the questions are asked. So please mark these questions. Okay, from set B, 13th and 14th question type, na? From set B, 13th and 14th type question. So they have asked these type of questions so far. Okay, if at all concurrent deviation questions asked, and these are the 2 types of questions asked in the examination. So, sir, should I do these type of questions and go? Of course, my dear, you please prepare these 2 at least and go. What is it? For 10 pairs of observations, number of concurrent deviation found to be 4. That means n is equal to 10 and C is equal to 4. So, if n is 10, what is M is equal to 9. So, C is equal to 4. Concurrent deviation method. What is the formula actually we need to use? Plus or minus root of 2C 8 minus 9 M divided by 9. See, listen here. 2C 16 minus 9 is, what is 16 minus 9 is 8. Sorry, 16 minus 9 is what? 7. Listen here, my dear. 2C minus M divided by M. Sorry, plus or minus. Again, plus or minus I forgot. Okay, again plus or minus M we forgot. Okay, now listen here. So here what is happening, you will tell me. For 10 pairs of observation, number of concurrent deviations was found to be 4. So C is equal to 4. And what is the value of the coefficient of concurrent deviation? What is the value of the coefficient of concurrent deviation? Yes, so which is nothing but plus or minus root of plus or minus 2C minus M divided by M. This is the formula you learnt, my dear. So what exactly will come? 2C. C is nothing but 4. So which is, sir, I get minus 1, sir. See, if it is minus 1, the plus or minus sign we are using now, everywhere minus will come. Minus of root of minus 1 divided by 9. So which is nothing but minus 1 by 3 is our answer. What is it? Minus 1 by 3 is our answer. Of course, you remember it. So these type of questions always expected in the examination. Okay, always expected in the examination. Okay, next, Spearman's rank correlation. Of course, sir, we know, sir, we have to put the rank, then D is equal to R1 minus R2 table type. See, again I am telling you, from rank correlation, I have never seen, that is rarely I saw the table type question. Rarely I saw this table type question. If table type questions are coming, Very simple questions only they are asking. So far they did not ask any difficult question. But remember, in the exam 10, 11, 12, rank correlation. These three types of questions every time they are asking. Okay, these three type of question every time they are asking. So do not ignore these three types. See, as far as set B is concerned, I will say you prepare only set B and go, my dear, for correlation. That is more. Set A, of course, you have to prepare. That is theory questions. For in correlation, mostly what they ask numerical questions more. At least set B you prepare and go. Set B you prepare and go. Okay, set B you prepare and go. Yes, you can do wonders in set B, my dear. You can do wonders in set B. The 4 questions are coming from correlation regression. Not 4, actually minimum 6 questions that's coming from correlation regression. You can easily score 4 to 5 marks if you know set A and set B alone. Okay, if you know set A and set B alone. Okay, now listen here. Carl Pearson. In Carl Pearson's, what and all to be remembered? See, first, I'm just telling you, see, there are so many things to be remembered, but I'm telling you at least these many parts you have, without, without second thought, you need to remember it. What is it? Sir, what is coefficient of determination? Coefficient of determination. What is coefficient of determination is equal to R square. What is coefficient of non-determination is equal to 1 minus R square. What is coefficient of alienation is equal to root of 1 minus R square. Okay. Then if y is equal to a plus bx, if any equation of this form y is equal to a plus bx, first if b more than 0, then r is equal to plus 1. If b less than 0, then r is equal to minus 1. Okay, if b more than 0, then r is equal to plus 1, b less than 0, then r is equal to minus 1, then r is equal to minus 1. So remember this, my dear, b greater than 0. Sir, how the questions can be expected? For example, see, 3x plus 2y is equal to 5. Find r. One linear equation is given. They ask you to find out r. Simply what you do, my dear, 2y is equal to minus 3x plus 5. Now, is coefficient of x is negative? If coefficient of x is negative, r is equal to minus 1. That's it. Sir, is this the answer? Yes, of course. You are not supposed to do anything. See, it's a linear relation. If 3x plus 2y is equal to 5, one linear equation is given and they ask you to find out r. Simply you take the equation in terms of what 2y is equal to minus 3x plus 5, and what is coefficient of x is minus 1. So therefore r is equal to, coefficient of x is minus, that is negative sign, coefficient of x having negative sign, therefore r is equal to minus 1 directly you can write. What is r is equal to minus 1 you can directly write. Okay. Now listen here. For example, sir, 3x minus 2y is equal to 5. In this case, what to be done, sir? Very simple. Is minus 2y is equal to minus 3x plus 5? Now, you make it positive by multiplying throughout by minus sign. Is it 2y is equal to 3x minus 5? So, what is sign here? Plus. Therefore, r is equal to plus 1. Is that right? So, when we do statistics, we have to remember shift of origin, change of scale concept. Okay, shift of origin, change of scale concept. R is not affected by shift of origin, R is not affected by change of scale, R is only affected by sign of change of scale. R is only affected by what? Sign of change of scale. Is that clear, my dear? R is only affected by what? Sign of change of scale. R is only affected by what? Sign of change of scale. Okay. Okay. R is not affected by sign of change of scale. Okay. Now listen here. See, that is the reason I gave this equation y is equal to a plus bx. Now, coincident, perpendicular, these are the questions we have. For example, if the lines are coincident, okay, if perpendicular to each other, what is r is equal to? Perpendicular means r equal to 0. Coincident means r is equal to plus or minus 1. Okay, if the lines are in regression, I am talking about. Lines are what? Perpendicular to each other, it is what? R is equal to 0. Lines are coincident means plus or minus 1. So, these are simple theory questions can be expected here, but as far as regression is concerned, I will solve one question, my dear. At least this question you need to solve and go. One compulsory question is going to be asked. Okay, one compulsory question is going to be asked. Total 4 questions. Okay, total 4 questions. I am going to teach 4 questions. Now, out of 4 questions, any one question 100% is going to come. So, please listen here. What are the 4 questions? I'll tell you. Okay. For example, 3x plus y is equal to 13, 2x plus 5y is equal to 20, or otherwise we'll have this. Okay, let me take this only. 3x plus y is equal to 13, 2x plus 5y equal to 20. So, two linear equations are given. See, there are 4 types of questions expected if 2 linear equation, regression equations are given. Okay. Kirtika not needed, Kirtika, don't waste your time. 3x plus y is equal to 2 linear equations are given. Am I right, my dear? 4 types of questions expected from regression. So, any one question will be asked. One is what find means. It's very simple. By solving them simultaneously, we'll get the values of x bar and y bar. That is what mean. Next, second question is, which is y on x, which is x on y? Which equation is x on y and which equation is y on x? That question can be asked. Third one, okay, which equation y on x and which equation x on y can be asked? That is second question. Third question, find byx and bxy. And fourth question is, find r. Remember, out of these 4 questions, one question definitely we are expecting, my dear. Out of these 4 questions, one question definitely we are expecting. Sir, how to find out mean, sir? If 2 equations are given, how to find out mean? By solving them simultaneously, we can find out mean. Sir, how to identify y on x or x on y, sir? Look at this, my dear. The equations are given as 3x plus y is equal to 13. 2x plus 5y is equal to 20. Simply you find out slope. What is the slope formula? Slope formula is minus coefficient of x divided by coefficient of y. So, what is coefficient of x is minus 3 by 1, and what is coefficient of that, and what is slope for the second equation? Minus 2 by 5. This is step number 1. Step number 2, compare only the magnitudes of the slopes. Compare only the magnitudes of slope. What is meant by compare only the magnitudes of slope? Only the values to be compared. Signs you can remove. So, 3 and 2 by 5. So, here 2 by 5 is less than 3. So, 3 is more than 2 by 5. That means this is my y on x. Smaller slope is what? Y on x. And the other one is what? X on y. The equation x on y. Now, this is the second part. Okay, which equation is x on y, which equation is y on x. Then this is the way we need to find out. Next, they ask you to find out regression coefficients bxy and byx. What is byx is? Of course, byx is y on x. What is the slope? Minus 2 by 5. This is byx. Now, what is bxy? X on y. What is x on y? The reciprocal of the other. This is what? Bxy. Now, fourth question is what? Finding the value of r. See, r, byx, bxy, all are what, my dear? R, byx, bxy, all are what? R, byx and bxy, all are what, my dear? Yes, they carry the same sign. They carry the same sign. They carry the same sign. So, therefore, here byx and bxy both are negative. Therefore, r is also negative. Simply you put minus root of byx into bxy. This is the value of r, my dear. This is the value of r. See, r is the geometric mean between byx and bxy. What is r is? Geometric mean between byx and bxy. R is geometric mean between byx and bxy. So, here when you prepare regressions, do not ignore 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So, surely one question will be asked from out of this. So, regression to be prepared, and as far as set C is concerned, these are the questions to be prepared. Okay, set C is concerned, these are the questions to be prepared. So, regression, I am telling you openly, okay, in the YouTube quorum I am telling you, whatever sums I marked now, out of these sums, at least 2 questions from regression will be asked. I am not saying the same question will be asked, I am saying you the similar type of, that is this type with the numbers or equation changed type questions can be asked. So, do not miss this opportunity. Please mark and learn it, my dear. Please mark and learn it. Okay, next. So, this is what we need to do in correlation and regression. This is what we need to do in correlation and regression. Listen here one thing. as far as statistics is concerned, how to prepare, rather preparing the numerical sums, we have to prepare only the theory questions. Okay, we have to prepare the theory part. Once you prepare the theory part, you don't need to bother about what exactly happening with the numerical questions, because theory part leads to practical questions. Okay, theory part leads to practical questions. Okay, so this is what we need to remember. Total how many chapters are there? 6 chapters are there in statistics, 40 marks. So each chapter minimum 6 marks it is going there, it will come. Okay, minimum 6 marks it will come. Now as far as index number is concerned, of course you are very much confident. As far as statistical description of data is concerned, yes, of course it's a theory one, you are confident about statistical description of data. Then next one is what? The third one is what, my dear? Central tendency and dispersion, mean, median, mode, standard deviation, these type of questions. Of course you are confident in that too. So please remember, when it comes to central tendency and dispersion, two things you have to focus a lot. One is mean, other one is standard deviation. One is mean and other one is standard deviation. Mean and standard deviation, please do not ignore. Mean and standard deviation, please do not ignore. Whatever problems we have got in mean and standard deviation, whatever problems we have got in mean and standard deviation, you please prepare it. Okay, whatever problems we have in standard deviation, please prepare it. Okay, please prepare it. All the questions from mean and standard deviation to be prepared. So what if quartiles, what is quartile deviation, these type of questions are mean, deviation, range and all, what to do, sir? Please listen here, my dear. Of course you have to prepare those things, no problem at all, but still mean and standard deviation to be given uttermost important, because as far as statistics is concerned, it is, I call central tendency and dispersion is time value of money of statistics. So majority of the questions are going to be asked from description, sorry, this one, central tendency and dispersion. So I want you to focus central tendency and dispersion more than any other topic. And when you prepare central tendency and dispersion, the best part to be prepared is what? Mean and standard deviation. What is the best part to be prepared? Mean and standard deviation. Am I clear, my dear? Mean and standard deviation. This is what we need to do. Okay. Now, so these are the points to be discussed and accordingly we need to proceed. So here this is correlation, regression and statistical description of data. So standard deviation, big sums like tabular. See, standard deviation, big sums like tabular and all. See, I am not going to say it will not come. But if you know the formula, if you remember the formula, yes sir, I can do it, means please go ahead with that problems. Okay, go ahead with that problems. Let us not ignore it. But it is, if the numbers are big, of course it is going to kill our time. But there are some tricky questions from central tendency and dispersion, which are what, you know, without solving we can give the answer. For example, 3-4 numbers will be given. Find the sum of deviation about arithmetic mean. Okay, sum of deviation about arithmetic mean. You no need to solve. Sir, let us find out arithmetic mean, sir. Then after that we will find out sum of deviation and the sum of deviation will become 0, sir. No, my dear, you no need to solve it. Directly we can give the answer as what? 0. Directly we can give the answer as 0. For example, 2 numbers are given, 3 and 5. Find the standard deviation. What is standard deviation of the 2 numbers? Half of the range. What is standard deviation of the 2 numbers? Half of the range. Of course, that also you can easily know it. So these type of simple set B type of questions, definitely you prepare and go. As far as mean is concerned, affected by shift of origin, affected by change of scale. That means what happens? For example, it is given 3x plus 2y is equal to 7. Okay. First question, if x bar equal to 1, find y bar. Simply what you can do, that is x bar is mean. If mean of x is given, they ask you to find out mean of y. Substitute mean of x in equation, that is x value in the equation, 3 ones are 3, plus 2y is equal to 7, 2y is equal to 4, y is equal to 2, my dear. Therefore, y is equal to 2. What is it? Y is equal to 2. That's it. So the entire equation to be used. Similarly, if they ask you to find out standard deviation of x is equal to 1, find the standard deviation of y. In this case, what I told you, very simple pattern, sir, keep x on one side, that is x is one side and y on other side. So what will happen to 7? Say dispersion is not affected by shift of origin, it is only affected by positive magnitude of change of scale. Even though negative comes, you can ignore that negative. Only 3x is equal to 2y. Now put x is equal to 1 here. So 3 ones are 3, 2y. So y is equal to 3 by 2. This is what standard deviation of y. This is what standard deviation of y. Of course, sometimes this question will be asked. Find the standard deviation of x minus 50 divided by 50 when standard deviation of x is equal to 1. Okay, simply put x is equal to 1 here and ignore this 50. Only put x is equal to 1 here. So answer will be what, my dear? 1 by 50. You no need to do anything else other than this. Okay, don't need to do anything else other than this. So instead of x, we need to replace, because it is only affected by what? Change of scale, not affected by shift of origin. You can ignore that shift of origin. Directly you can substitute the change of scale. Okay, directly you can substitute the change of scale. So this is what we have to do in dispersion. Okay, this is what we have to do in dispersion. Central tendency and dispersion, this much you prepare and go, my dear. The central tendency and dispersion, this much you prepare and go. And remember, sir, there is quartile deviation, there is mean deviation, there is a standard deviation, there is range. Of course, range questions are expected. Okay, range questions are expected. Don't ignore range questions. Range questions are very simple. What are the points to be remembered in range? For example, range is independent of frequency. It is nothing to do with frequency. Only x, highest value of x minus lowest value of x. To calculate range, class should be continuous. For open-ended class, range cannot be calculated. Range cannot be calculated. Now, as far as open-ended class is concerned, mean cannot be calculated for open-ended class. So if mean cannot be calculated for open-ended class, what is the other average? What is the suitable average for finding open-ended class? So it is finding average for open-ended class. The suitable average for finding open-ended class, average for open-ended class is median. What is it, my dear? Median. So these are simple theory MCQs. These are simple theory MCQs which you cannot ignore at any cost. You have to prepare these theory questions, okay, and you go, okay. Last time these questions they did not ask. So what to do, my dear? I told you, the pattern is slowly getting changed. What type of pattern they are bringing? Mostly what, practical oriented questions. That is, situation oriented questions. Only situation based questions they are asking. So situation, if you want to understand, see, for example, as I told you, suitable average to be found out. So based on that, we need, for example, open-ended class is given and they ask you to find out the average only. Now which average you will find out? You cannot find out mean or we cannot find out mean or mode and all. You have to find out only what? Median. See, this is what I said about situation oriented questions. So this time also I am expecting situation oriented question from statistics. So don't take statistics lightly. If you don't remember the concept, it will be difficult. But remember, today is the last day. That is, tomorrow is examination. Today is the last day. Here I cannot teach the situations, etc., etc. That is already done. How to understand the situation, how to do it. Now today, at least, minimum what can be done. If at all it is, you have not prepared like that. Okay, this is the damage control. That is what we are taking. For example, there are two things can happen. Either situation based questions will come or the instituted material question will come. Okay. Yes, no bro, big sum prepare, time waste. Okay, fine. Yes. So instead of preparing big problems, today you are not supposed to prepare any big problems, my dear. And today you have to prepare only the problems which are expected in the examination, which are solvable. Okay, like what, theory questions and simple questions. Today whatever questions I marked, those questions to be discussed and you have to go, my dear. As far as index number is concerned, I am not going to touch index number because you are very much confident about index number. Let us not talk about index number much. As far as statistical description of data, my simple request is please go through all set A, set B problems and the additional question bank problems. Please look at it and go. Of course, so that means what, set C questions cannot be asked, sir. Of course it can come. Numerical questions definitely can come. One question they will be asking. For example, if you are preparing for that one question, if you ignore 5 questions, what is the use of that? Sir, so far I have not prepared set C from statistical description of data. Then don't prepare only. Now, today is not the time to prepare any new things. Always prepare the thing which you already remember, which you already know about it. Am I clear, my dear? Don't prepare any new concepts today. So please understand this. Okay, next. This is one part is done. In statistical description of data, see, I can decide, okay, statistical description of data in 3 parts you can do, my dear. See, one is it's a collection, it's a classification, presentation. Collection, classification and presentation. What is it? Collection, classification and presentation. Okay. Yes. What is it? Collection, classification and presentation. In 3 levels we can complete it, my dear. What is it? Sir, first we need to collect the data. After collecting the data, we have to classify the data. After classifying the data, we have to present it. This is what statistics is all about. Collection. There are 2 types of collection of data. One is what? Primary and secondary. Okay, primary and secondary. Am I right, my dear? Collection, there are 2 types. One is what? Primary and secondary data. What is primary data? What is primary data, my dear? Primary data is nothing but actually it can be collected by personal interview, indirect interview and personal interview method, observation method, mail question method. What is it? Personal interview method, there is interview method, observation method, mail questionnaire method. See here, interview method is what? Time consuming, it's not cost effective. Okay, it's not possible for large coverage area. So these are the drawbacks of interview method. Mail questionnaire method, yes, of course, it is suitable for all big coverage area, but the drawback is what? Non-response will be maximum. What is meant by observation method, sir? Observation method is wherever instruments are used. For example, when I enter into the classroom, I want to check your temperature. I have to use that gun to check your temperature. Am I right, my dear? To check your temperature. So now the measurement will be taken. That is what we call as observation method. Now, as far as interview method is concerned, there are 3 types of interview method. One is what? Personal interview, indirect interview and a telephonic interview. Personal interview is for what? Natural calamities such as cyclone, tsunami. So this time the data are collected. That is what? Personal interview method. Indirect interview method, man-made accidents like air crash or train accidents. In this time, whatever data we are collecting, that is what? In the indirect interview. Third one is what? Telephonic interview. Of course, it's good. Here response, quick response you will get. What is it? Quick response you will get. So that is what? Telephonic interview. Sometimes what happens, you don't pick up the phone call. So that also happens, my dear. So that is in the telephonic interview. Next, secondary data. Secondary data classified into 4 parts. One is what? Government source, international source, quasi-government source and unpublished data. International source like World Health Organization, all international source. What is government source? In Indian Standard Institute and all government source. For example, quasi-government source, NCRT is quasi-government source. Unpublished data, the data which is submitted by the PhD students, MPhil students. So those things will never be published. So that is not unpublished data. What is it called? Unpublished data. That is what comes under secondary data. This is collection. What is classification? After collecting the data, we need to classify the data. What is it? It can be classified area-wise, geographically, and it can be classified time-wise, temporal or chronological. Okay, what is it? Chronological. Third one is what? Qualitative. That is attributes. Fourth one is what? Quantitative. That is variates. Okay, numerical, non-numerical. We say non-numerical is what? Qualitative. Numerical is what? Quantitative. So this is what? Classification. But between collection and the classification, there is one more important step is there. After collecting the data, we have to check whether the data is authenticated or not. That is what scrutiny we say. What is it? Scrutiny we say. Then finally presentation. There are 3 ways of presenting the data. One is what? What is one is? 3 ways of presenting the data. One is what, my dear? Textual method. We have to write the government records and all fully what into textual method. Second one is the best method. What is it? Tabular method. Third one is most attractive method, that is presentation method. What is it? Presentation method. In tabular method, there are 2 types of tables, simple and complex. Simple and complex. Now, there is some points about a tabular thing. You please prepare. Okay, like what body of the text, caption, stub, etc., etc. So these things and all, you please, it is there clearly mentioned in this one, where it is institute material. Please go through it. Next, finally, presentation diagrammatic method. What is it? There are 2 ways of diagrammatic method means what? Actually, one is what? Bar diagram, line diagram and bar diagram we have got, line diagram we have got, and pie chart also we have got. What is it? Pie chart also we have got. So these things comes under presentation method, my dear. Okay, U-shaped curve, bell-shaped curve, of course you remember those things. So as far as statistical description of data is concerned, it's very simple. Just go through and go. It's a pure theoretical thing. Next step. Many people are asking, sir, what about LR? What about LR? What about LR? Now, what about LR? LR, logical reasoning. See, there are 4 topics in logical reasoning: number series, coding, decoding, and the directions, finally the seating arrangement, and finally what? Blood relations. See, listen here, one by one let me discuss. Blood relation, there are three types of problems expected in blood relation. One is puzzle solving, second one is coded puzzle, third one is conversation type. Here coded puzzle type of sum is not there in the institute material. Of course, we have done it in the classroom. If you have gone to some other classes also, what there also they might have done it. That is coded puzzle. Sir, if it is not there in institute material, what to do, sir? In the first exam, coded puzzle question was asked. So therefore, it is included in our syllabus now. Next, conversation type. What is conversation type? Pointing to a man, and this person is what my mother's wife's daughters, say my mother's husband's daughter's husband. Such kind of questions can be asked. That is conversation type. Of course, conversation type or any blood relation type question, not only blood relation, this one, like what logical reasoning. Whenever you solve logical reasoning, always don't put yourself into that question. Don't put yourself into that question. You are not supposed to put yourself into the question. You need to stay away from that. There are procedures to be followed to solve this kind of logical reasoning questions. Strictly follow the procedure. Strictly follow the procedure. Don't put yourself into the question. Don't put yourself into the question. Okay, don't think that I am okay for my uncle's daughters and all. Don't think like that. There is a procedure. Conversation type, I know how to solve it. My, right hand side of my, left hand side of my. Of course, you know, you remember the logic behind, you remember the shortcut to solve the conversation type of question. In blood relation, the most difficult part of solving is what, conversation type. So of course, its question is very small, but the solution is what? Little bit complicated. Don't waste much time on many questions, my dear. Logical reasoning, how logical reasoning, I always tell you, because most of the people are depends on logical reasoning. Okay, most of the people are depends on logical reasoning. But remember one thing, logical reasoning, highly time consuming. Logical reasoning is what? Highly time consuming. So the meaning of time consuming, we don't know how the time passes. Okay, by the time you complete logical reasoning, sir, I would like to do all the problems from logical reasoning first, sir. You may be having that mindset. If you do that, what will happen is, actually logical reasoning, you are not supposed to give more than 20 to 30 minutes. But by the time you complete all the logical reasoning questions, it will take 1 hour time. So please avoid such kind of things. Whichever is direct solutions are coming, that only you have to do. So logical reasoning, how it is, like, we think, yes, that is the best part we say. Actually, logical reasoning is time consuming. Please remember it. Most of you are dependent on logical reasoning, I understand. But also what, it will kill our time. It will kill our time. So what are the don'ts you need to follow? I'll tell you. If you are not confident about the question, please don't touch that. For example, seating arrangement. Seating arrangement, what happens? We have got 4 people arrangement, 5 people arrangement, 6 people arrangement, 7 people arrangement, 8 people arrangement, 10 people arrangement, all types are there. When the problem based on 8 people arrangement or 10 people arrangement, even 7 people arrangement, please better not touch that type of questions, because it will take a lot of time, my dear. It will take a lot of time to solve. More hints will be there. When the hints are more, it is difficult to arrange. 4 people arrangement, 5 people arrangement, 6 people arrangement, immediately you can follow. Even circular arrangement sums also. If you are not confident about circular arrangement, don't touch that circular arrangement. It is actually what, it will kill your time. It will kill your time, because most of the people are getting confused with anti-clockwise direction and clockwise direction. It is like in a door, pull-push concept you are talking about. Now, when it is written pull, and we always push it. When it is written push, we always pull it. The same way, when it is anti-clockwise direction, we think about clockwise direction. So you have to be very careful while solving circular arrangement questions. Okay, circular arrangement questions. That is what seating arrangement is all about. Seating arrangement, as I told you, what is seating arrangement, my dear? It is as good as 4, 5, 6 linear arrangements are coming. Of course, you do it immediately. And if at all more than 6 people to be arranged, so please stay away from that. So that is what we can talk about seating arrangement. Now direction. Out of 4 topics, so far, the more number of questions are asked from direction. More number of questions are asked from direction. Minimum 6 questions they are asking from direction. As far as direction sums are concerned, whenever you do direction questions, how to do it, I'll tell you. Immediately you draw this diagram, my dear. This is very important. North, south, east and west. Am I right, my dear? Now, when you are moving towards north, this is your right side, this is your left side. When you are moving towards east, this is your right side and this is your left side. When you are moving towards south, this is your left side, this is your right side. Am I right? Sorry. This is your right side, this is your left side. When you are moving towards left, west, this is your right side and this is your left side. Am I right, my dear? Yes. So this is what direction is all about. Okay, this is what direction is all about. Left, right, left, right, left, right. So initially you draw this. before touching direction question, first you draw this, and after that only you are not supposed to start the direction question, because when you are moving towards north, you know how to take right and left. That is very simple. But when you're moving towards south, instead of taking right, most of the people takes left. Okay, because they get confused. How you solve direction question? Okay, I'm moving towards north direction, I'm taking right. Don't close your eyes and think about it. You draw this diagram and follow this diagram. Okay, draw this diagram and follow this diagram, and you will be able to, okay, you will be able to do it. I think somebody is asking, sir, linear arrangement, how to find the left and right? It's a basic question, my dear. It's a linear arrangement, and always we are going to assume all are facing north if no direction is mentioned. If all are facing north, this is your right and this is your left. Okay. If you are facing south, and it will change. This is your right and this is your left. Sir, if no direction is mentioned, what to do, sir? That means you are facing north only. That's what we need to understand. As far as number series and coding, decoding is concerned, the most confusing part in number series is odd man out. Odd man out, you have to carefully handle odd man out. You have to carefully handle odd man out, because more than one answer you will think as far as odd man out is concerned, because every person will look at the question to different way. Okay, every person will look the question to different way. So different answers people will get. Okay, different answer people will get. So whenever you approach odd man out, always be careful before you attempt odd man out questions. Coding and decoding, there is nothing to discuss about coding and decoding, but when you solve coding and decoding, simple type of questions only every time they are asking in the examinations. So do not ignore coding and decoding questions. Very simple questions they are asking. Sir, is it enough to solve the questions from institute material? Of course it is enough, but at the same time I am requesting you to solve some CAT MAT exam, entrance exam questions, not big questions, very small questions from CAT MAT exams. Of course, Google form, you will in the Google you can find out, and you can proceed, my dear. See, Avek is asking, sir, when the seating arrangement is east and west are coming, then what to do? I'll tell you, that is the way, that is right and left to be taken same way. For example, I can say for north and east, follow the same rule. For north and east, follow the same rule. For south and west, this rule you follow. That's it. North and east, this is the right and left, and the south and west, this is the right and left you need to follow. Of course, this is the simplest thing what you can do. Am I right, my dear? South and west comes means right hand side, left hand side I have given to you. So, such a simple thing, my dear. Coding and decoding, please prepare yourself nicely and go. Yes, coding, decoding, number series, all the questions are going to be asked, and nicely prepare and attend the examination, my dear. Yes, so I don't want to take much time of yours by talking so many things unnecessarily. Now this is the time for you to prepare on your own. This is the time for you to prepare on your own. Now you on your own. Okay, no one is there. So now what happens, more responsibility will come, and don't get scared about this examination. Don't get scared about the examination. Okay. Bino Sharda, what about shadow question? So what about shadow question? During morning time, your shadow will fall on west side. During evening time, your shadow will fall on east side. So only that basic information you need to follow. Okay. Now listen here. Sir, May question is always difficult. Only people are saying, sir. In that case, what to do, sir? May questions are always difficult. People are saying. So then what to do in that type, sir? Don't worry, my dear. May questions are always difficult. Na? It's not a big deal. Okay. Last time was more difficult. You already faced the most difficult question. So question paper. Now this time I don't think you are going to get surprised. Okay, you are going to get surprised. No need to be lethargic. No need to underestimate. No need to lethargic. No need to be underestimate. But remember, you have already prepared nicely. You no need to bother about anything. You are prepared nicely. I think many of you, we already last 2-3 months we are traveling together from April. Since April I am traveling with you, and you are traveling with me. So more than 600-650 students is traveling with me. So please understand, my dear, don't underestimate yourself. Don't underestimate yourself. See, the biggest reason of failure is your fear. If you are not scared, yes, you can easily face the examination. The biggest problem is what your fear. because after preparing everything and we are failing, I don't understand why, I don't understand that, my dear. So don't get scared, it's just an examination, you just go and approach. I know about your intelligence level, it's a competitive exam, of course some twisted questions are going to be there. Don't get scared about the negative marks and all. Whenever there is risk for possibility, calculative risk to be taken, yes, of course you can take that calculative risk. Okay, of course you can take that calculative risk. Now one more, last but not least, very important thing, if at all you have any problem, okay, if at all any problem during this, that is in this next 24 hours, if you are feeling and if you are not comfortable, or if you want to any questions, any suggestions, of course my phone number is always available, my dear. You can give me a call only for doubt solvings. This is my phone number, you can call me for your doubt solvings. Anything you would like to ask, please ask me. Okay, so you won't find any difficulties, and after the examination please do inform me how the exams went and all. Okay, so sir, that's all. Are you going to wind up the session? Of course, my dear, now this time to lead, like what you know, you need to take the responsibility. Now you are on your own. Okay, so I'm just leaving my hand. Now you have to travel alone. Okay, anything is there, of course I am there to support you, but I appreciate if you just follow the instructions on your own, my dear. So that is what very, very important thing. So if anything you would like to ask, you can ask now. I'm there, I'm waiting now. If any questions, anything to be asked, you can post. I'm here now. Okay, so that's all, my dear. Stats this, what is mean by this? Okay, so that's all, my dear. In northwest direction and all, same only, na, my dear. What is northwest, northeast? See guys, this is not the time also. This is your northwest, this is your northeast, this is your southeast, this is your southwest. Direction test, Pythagoras theorem question, yes, of course can be asked, na? Why moving towards north, taking right? Now what is the distance, they can ask you. It's a Pythagoras theorem. So whenever distance also involved, Pythagoras theorem will come. Sir, is time value, ratio, proportion, log, stats and LR enough, sir? Yes, my dear, it is enough. Now where is the time to prepare the other topic? If you are not prepared, and leave it, na? Okay. Sir, time value of money, ratio, proportion, log, stats, I think 75 marks, David Raj, you said. 75 marks is more than enough to score 50 marks. Not a big deal. Okay. Prepare only the chapters which you know, which you are confident. Don't prepare any new topics now. That is not right. Okay. Yes. Thank you all of you. Bye. Have a nice day. All the very best. Best of luck. You prepared nicely. So don't worry about anything. Thank you all of you. Bye.